New hit music, way fewer commercials, 103.3 Amp Radio. Do I need to stand too? Is that where we're at?
No.
Is that what I need to do?
I don't know.
Is that what all the big wigs are doing?
I feel like I can get my radio voice on when I stand somehow.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen, we got a legend in the building. I don't get nervous too often. I'm a tad nervous.
You're not nervous, man.
I'm not. I am kind of nervous.
The yay area composure.
You already know what it is.
Cool.
It's the yay area swag in me.
Know?
The R&B bangers, you know him. He's an original, man. He's one of the greats. And I got to tell you a quick story real quick. I gave tickets to Usher and you in 2010 to a friend because I was doing nights at the time. And I was like, yo, how was Usher? She was like, it was cool. But there was this opener, Miguel, was off the chain. Ladies and gentlemen, we got Miguel in the building. Hey, man. But yeah, she was like, yo, this dude Miguel is ridiculous.
That's cool,
so
man.
you out here still doing it.
Yeah.
Still doing your thing. How are things, bro?
It's been fantastic. Man, it's been a long time since that tour. That was a great
2010, man.
That was a great tour, man. 2010. I had just come off of a tour with Mary J. Blige at the time. And Ush, I just finished working with him in the studio. And All I Want Is You was popping. We had Quickie and Sure Thing, all three of which it went like #1. So it was my first like on a bus tour. That was a great one. And I remember stopping by here. It was good. It was good. So since then, Kaleidoscope Dream, Wild Heart, now War and Leisure, Skywalker, Remind Me to Forget,
What's different about this tour then? What's your vibe going into this one?
This tour is really all about having a great time, and the conversation is really about transcending our own perceived limitations. I'm just a firm believer that, everyone is limitless, and the more and more we embrace this idea, the more likely we are and the more apt we are to really transcend the things that we feel are our limits, man, and there are none, and I want my fans to feel that way. I think they inspire me to feel that way, and I want them to feel that way. So the whole tour is just centered around just understanding that you're incredible. You are a one of one, and walking away feeling like you're skywalking at all points. I want people to leave feeling that way. So,
so I saw you were chilling though at the crib, enjoying those last few moments at home.
That
were
couch
those
is called
Tapatio Doritos? I didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't even know those existed.
Yeah.
I think they got like ketchup Lays now. So I'm like so confused with what chips are out in these streets.
Yeah,
but take me through those, kind of final moments at home. Are you in a position where touring is as much fun to you? Because obviously you're a performer, that's it at your core, but you're also in a good space where you're enjoying your life, I would think, as well.
As you can see, I was living my best life.
Lil Duval was here yesterday. No joke, he was here yesterday.
I heard such a cool dude, man. He's a great dude.
But take me in those moments, when you're at the crib.
Love that record. Yeah, last moments at the house, always doing my favorite activities.
What are those?
Smoking weed. We call that couch at the crib. It's like it's a blue. We call it Blue Dream for real. So spend my last moments on Blue Dream, catch some conspiracy randomness on YouTube, laugh a bit with my brother, my cousins, and my friends. Everyone comes to the crib. We just laugh, play games, and for real, like legit play games though, like board games, like Trouble.
You're in games, bro. I had Jenga ready to go for you today, bro. I heard you were hella scared, bro.
No, I'm never scared. Actually, I will go ahead and say I am a Jenga master. Only thing is though, I do have to get to we're running through the set to make sure our first show here in Boston is on point.
I feel you.
Yeah. So if anything, it was probably that. But that's I had ramen. I went through our favorite ramen spot.
Here?
No. At the crib.
At the crib.
We were going through our, our last moments at the house. Took a drive in the whip. I'm from Los Angeles, so we're used to driving. I just get a.
I feel you. I'm from the Bay, bro.
Coast. Yeah,
I got you.
That's pretty much it.
All right, so
got some quality time with my dad.
Oh, nice, man. Some fam time.
Yeah. My lady, all that. Yeah.
I feel like you made your bangers for the people, the R&B bangers in the beginning, I would say radio friendly records, but I've always felt like you've always made the kind of music you've wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Your sound is as transcendent and has continued with it for sure these last 3 albums
Yeah,
for sure, even the
absolutely.
EP before.
Yeah.
Talk about what direction maybe your music is going in now. I mean, it has that distinct Miguel sound to it, but you definitely have been making the music you've wanted to.
Absolutely. Yeah. I would say my music, I try and create music that you can't tell if it's from now or if it's in the future or if
Feel
it's from
you.
the past.
Yeah.
You know, and I guess I try and include elements from all of those elements that feel like they could be from each one of those, from the past a little bit, from what feels like the future to me, and then if some stuff that feels like it's from here, and then just writing songs that feel like they're you can feel the emotion, and I think that's what makes it timeless. And then just there's a couple things that are quintessentially mine, that are just me. I think my vocal arrangements and things like that that I feel are textures that really make my music unique.
Sure, 100%.
So just that. But yeah, man, never abiding by what is expected.
You've never forced it. You've just been authentic. You know what I'm saying? With at least that I've been able to tell.
Love. Yeah. I mean, that's I guess the calling card for any artist. It's like the best, the ones that I love. All the artists, they make music that was uniquely theirs. Yeah. So I just try and do that day in and day out. Yeah.
For sure. And I want to get do you feel like you got to speak out a little bit on social issues, political issues now? Because in your verse with Come Through and Chill with J. Cole, he has a pretty interesting verse on his.
Like
are you?
Kneeling.
I mean, I mean, you've where are you at like in your political game? Because you've seen people like Chelsea Handler take a break, and she's going on, things that matter to her, and empowering females, and all that.
Yeah.
So where's your stance politically?
I think I'm less. I'm when I believe in something, I believe strong. I love hard. When I don't feel like things are right, I'm the kind of person that will speak my mind. I think my attention has been more on social issues, injustices. So things like that line in his verse are important. But there's a song on Warren Leisure called Now, which is all about the inequality to people who are not born in this country, and the process that they're not given in order to ameliorate or to even be processed to be sent back. At this point now, there's facilities that are built that are specifically built to hold these people captive and to make them, to have them used as cheap labor. And this labor is outsourced to businesses and corporations who buy that labor, and these people's lives are exploited and they're just held here without any due process. So things like that are things that I think I'm more apt to speak about after being informed. And it was that song that inspired me to go to this place called Adelanto, which is a prison for immigrants, undocumented people here in the States, but there's hundreds of them around the country. We more recently heard about them being children being held against their against their will.
Yeah.
Children.
It's wild. It's wild to think about.
Infants being held with no legal representation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's things like these I think that I have more interest in now, because laws change, our politicians change, and as much as I do feel responsible and I will be a part of that process in terms of voting and whatnot, regardless of if I believe in the process or even where we are in our democracy. I think my attention is better served or better put in social issues. So stuff like that really is kind of like where my attention's at.
I feel you, and I mean I did political science. That was my major, and so I've always just informed people just to vote, at least have their voice.
Yeah.
In general, no matter
Yeah.
what, whether it's locally or
Right.
stuff that you're talking about on that level.
That's dope. Poli-science major.
Poli-sci major,
That's
you already
dope.
know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just important for people to get out and at least register to vote, to
Yeah.
know what's going on around them. It's just as important locally as it is in the nation.
Yeah.
And I know you're deep in your YouTubes, because on what joint was it that I was listening to?
The YouTube holes are deep.
Hold on, bro. What record was it on Warren Leisure that I'm thinking about where you said hide your kids, hide your wife? So I know you were deep in your YouTube. What record was that, bro? Was it
That's Wolf.
Wolf. That's
on
what it
Wolf.
was, bro.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so like I was listening to that like a few weeks
That's
ago,
hilarious.
and I was like,
It's funny that I put that. I still laugh at it because I'm just
Yeah.
like, let's just see who's listening to see if they'll just laugh.
I listened, bro,
Yeah.
and you said it like in a way. I'm like, whoa, hold on real quick.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's love. That's love. That's funny.
so I know you were deep in your YouTubes, man. What was the last deep YouTube dark place Miguel went to?
Man, I definitely go down like in anything that has to do with free energy. I go down that like often.
I don't get drunk enough for that, Miguel.
0 point energy, free energy. There's a number of names for it. I think Oramus is another word. But yeah, free energy, 0 point energy is like a favorite. Yeah, and then anything like ancient history, hidden history, obviously conspiracy theories, blah blah blah, all that stuff.
Yo, up in the head, Miguel.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
I guess I mean, I want to be informed.
That's tight. Yeah, no, I feel you.
dig?
Yeah. And listen, you are a soulful dude, and I could not get you out of here without asking you about the VMAs yesterday and this tribute that Madonna, or this sort of tribute that Madonna gave to Aretha Franklin.
Man, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Honestly, we were flying here yesterday.
What did Aretha mean to you?
I mean, Aretha is the queen. She's the greatest singer of all time. You know, her vocals, and not only as a vocalist, I mean, as a musician, a lot of people don't know that Aretha could play, like really play and sing. So I think just her impact, not only on music, but as a woman and what she represented. You know, songs like Natural Woman.
Respect.
Well, Respect. Yo, I did catch a clip, though, of Al Sharpton. Did you guys peep this clip?
Oh,
Y'all better put some RESPICT on Aretha, my good friend Aretha's name. That it had me dying this morning. But yeah. I mean, she's a legend. And I think she lived a full life. Unfortunately, it was cancer.
It's
man.
the worst out. No, real talk.
But unfortunately, I don't view death as I feel it's more of a transition. You know, I firmly believe, I'm a believer in this. In that we transition to more of a universal consciousness. So I don't really, even my grandmother passed this year from cancer as well. And so nothing could be more close, you know, a musician that I look up to and I feel is a legend, but also passing from an ailment that essentially is...
It's the worst on the planet.
Well, I mean, the way that our culture, especially here in the United States, and food, our tie with food and in our culture and how we were raised to believe, you know, certain, you know, eating meat and things like this. And by the way, I still eat meat when I want to eat meat. So this is not me, you know, going like, you gotta eat.
Because I'm still eating steak regardless of what you say.
Yeah. If I want, you know, a nice filet mignon, a filet mignon, you know, what I'm saying?
Mignon action.
A little mignon, I'm gonna go in. But the truth is that there's things that are like obviously tied to cancer, and just the way that our culture, you know, is taught. These things are it's like, it's just...
I feel you, dog. I watched What the Health and couldn't do. I went 30 minutes in and was like, yikes, and I just had to turn it
It's
off.
insane, and it's so hard. It's really sad that these things, you know, are now in people's old age. They're manifesting, you know, and they've been raised and taught a certain way, and so you're starting to see the effects of it. And unfortunately, I don't know Aretha's. Obviously, I don't know her daily regimen.
Right.
But I'm just saying, cancer shouldn't be a problem as much as it is now, and we're still being fed a lot of BS in terms of what is and is not healthy, lifestyle wise. So I don't know, man.
For sure. No, I feel you.
It's sad, man.
And I can't get you out of here without talking about the record you got with Kygo.
Yeah.
Remind me to forget. I saw, by the way, if you haven't seen Kygo live, he's incredible. And
also a real musician, really plays his music when he's on stage, playing piano, playing the parts, as well as producing them. You know, being the producer, he actually plays, which is...
He was at the Garden, and like you said, he plays all of these instruments on him, and it was the first time that I heard that record that you have with him in that loud.
Yeah.
And so that's, bro, like that record is Flames. Talk about how that record came about with Kygo and kind of. Do you like the song, or is it one? I'm messing with you. Do you like the song you're on with Kygo? No, talk about it though.
Yeah. I love the song. The first time I heard the song, I loved the song. I think the songwriting. Here's the thing: is as a writer and producer, I rarely will sing songs. Like, it's rare that I'll do a song that's
It was a different lane for you. I was really interested. Continue.
Yeah. But no, I think the message of the song, I think, is what hit me. It was you know, we've all had that relationship where it's like, this just isn't healthy. Like, this isn't, like, something is not reciprocating. Either I'm not on the same page as you, or you're not on the same page as me. This isn't good for us. It's not healthy, and you have to move on in a different direction. And sometimes it still pulls you back, and you kind of fight against it. And I think because that resonated with me, it just, and melodically, it just felt really powerful. So I was really happy that he thought of me, man. It was really, really dope.
And kind of take me behind the scenes real quick, as far as what Kygo did with your vocals. Was that something that you guys both were talking about when you were in the studio together, or was it something that you laid down, he like chopped up, did his thing, sent it back to you? How did that go about? Because I was just curious where you're at creatively with that.
I love that. Well, we didn't get to do it together in the studio. I think he was moving around. I mean, as you know, he's
everywhere. Worldwide stuff. DJs are like that.
Insanely busy, rather. And so I was in LA. I think he was in Copenhagen at the time when he sent it, and then he was moving around. So I cut the song. He had ideas. Actually, the vocal parts, like the chops, were different when he sent it, and then we kind of went back and forth. I was like, how about we do this? And then we kind of went back and forth, and then he ended up liking. So it became kind of a combination of some of his idea and some stuff that I may have suggested, and it worked out really well, man.
Yeah, it's dope. It turned out incredible, and I believe it went top 10.
It's going top 10 now. Yeah. It's crazy because they were low-key trying to
push it to the side.
Yeah. So I think, you know, to the credit of the fans, you know, it's really awesome, man. Fans are incredible.
We in a different age, bro. You know, like, sometimes you don't need any of that. You just
yeah, it's real.
You just let the internet do its thing. You know what I mean? And you just kind of let the bass take care of it, and good music and good artists like yourself will rise to the top. Well, thank you so much for coming through. This is a rare occasion to have someone like yourself out here. You had a few days to spare.
You know?
And you're starting the tour off in Boston, Blue Hills Bank Pavilion. Check out Miguel. You got like a favorite joint here in Boston? Like, what's a good memory you got?
Good memories.
Any sports stuff?
Man, I have a couple of really good memories walking into random bars.
I feel like you're such a bar dude too. Like,
yeah, I'm not really a club person. Although I've had great times at clubs here too. Boston has I mean, as far as like club life and, you know, just atmosphere, I will say there's a lot of really nice atmosphere here in Boston.
You could tell they're music lovers here.
Yeah,
if you don't know, and you will know for sure.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for coming through, bro.
It's a
Miguel,
every time.
One of the legends in the game, ladies and gentlemen. Samp Radio.